Hello students, can you see the PPT on your screens?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the previous class, we had started with the module 2. Okay. We started with the module 2. So just a small brief of that. So what all we had done. So I had seen the gaps model of service quality. We are having many gaps, that is 4 gaps. So in this particular chapter, we are dealing with gap 1, which is between expected service and company perceptions of consumer expectations. This particular gap is known as listening gap. So under this listening gap, we just saw the key reasons. So what are those key reasons? Not interacting directly with the customers to understand the expectations, unwilling to ask questions to the customers, then not attempting to understand the customer's perception. Okay. And next, coming to using marketing research to understand customer expectations. So how are we using? So we just saw that research is one of the main things which the company has to do to find out the customers expectations as well as perceptions. So to find out what customers expect in terms of service quality, marketing research must focus on service issues such as what features are most important to customers and at what levels of these features the customers are expecting. Next, we just saw the research objectives for services. So there were some 12 of them. So to discover customers' requirements or expectations, to track and monitor the service performance, to find out the dissatisfied customers so that we can have a service recovery process, to discover customer requirements and so on. Okay. Then next we saw criteria for effective service research program. So this includes the most important things. I'll just repeat those: qualitative and quantitative research. So it has both expectations and perceptions of the customers to be known. Balance. We need to balance the cost of research as well as the value of the information that we are getting. Then, if required, statistical validity has also to be provided. Then measure priorities of importance, that is attributes. So what attributes the customers are looking into our service delivery. Then appropriate frequency, so occurs with appropriate frequency. That means at what particular interval you need to be doing the research again and again. So this particular research is not a one time thing, so it has to be done over and over after a certain period of time, based on what kind of objective you are looking into. We just saw the objectives. So the type of research, it could be quantitative, qualitative, or cross sectional or longitudinal, depends on what kind and what is the time frame that you are going to have the research on. Then it includes the measurement of loyalty, behavioral intention, and actual behavior. Loyalty is customer coming back again, increasing the sales of the company. Then behavioral intentions could be word of mouth, where is spreading positive things about the company and getting new customers to the company. So these are the behavioral intentions. If the same thing goes wrong, if something goes wrong, again the word of mouth, negative word of mouth or negative publicity happens, and you may uh, repel some of the customers from your company. So moving to the next one, that is just continuation of those, identifying dissatisfied customers to attempt recovery. We just saw that. Then identify most common categories of service failure for remedial action. So you might think that okay, there might be some few dissatisfied customers and due to particular reasons. So are these particular reasons occurring again and again? Are the customers being dissatisfied because of those reasons only or what? So we need to find out those and we need to take necessary actions. So this is known as customer complaint solicitation. So what does that means? So we are trying to find out what problems the customer is facing again and again, where whether the same problem it is being the customers are being faced, or these are every with every encounter is the customer facing a different problem. So find out those and try to solve them. Next is assess company's service performance compared to competitors, identify service improvement priorities, track service improvement over time, which is also known as relationship surveys. So what you have to do, find out what is your performance when compared to your competitors, what kind of things he is doing, what priorities he is having. So we need to track all this and try to implement and improve your service delivery quality. So this is called as relationship service. So doing relationship service, we are getting where customers may only stick on to our service delivery, or he may move around, or he might have already used some competitors service, then is coming to us. So in that case, if you are having customer relationship service, so you can get information from your own customers as well, like what the your competitor was doing, what are the things that made that particular customer unhappy about the service delivery of the competitors, and so on. And next, obtain customer feedback while service experience is still fresh. Act on feedback quickly if negative patterns develop. So it is also called as post transaction service. So we need to get feedbacks from the customers as soon as the service delivery is done, or as soon as the customer has availed that particular service. So if that is fresh in their minds, okay, what was happened and what was being happening, so at that particular time, the customer may not forget the things if you are asking him after a certain period of time. So he will be having a quick feedback session where he is telling you what all things he liked about the service, what all things he thinks that needs improvement, and getting all these things will help the company improve and grow better. So if it is just after the service delivery, so the delivery process will be fresh in the customer's mind, and he will be able to give better feedback, whether it is positive or negative, whatever it is. So but he will be in a better position to give just after the service delivery. Okay, so this is called as post transaction service. Next, coming to use as input for quantitative service. Provide a forum for customers to suggest service improvement ideas. So what does this mean? And are also called as customer focus groups. So what does this mean? Now quantitative survey is, here they have told focus groups. So calling these particular people, a group of people, and asking them a certain set of questions, and you are basically noting them. So the questions may be like, how was the delivery? Was the time adequate? So did you feel any uncomfortness in the service delivery? How was the service person? How was his behavior? So did he behave well? Did he communicate properly with you? Did he answer all the questions that were posed by you? So something like this. So all these kinds of surveys where you are basically having a group discussion with the customers, and that particular group is chosen, and so only it is called as a focus group. You are focusing on certain things or certain customers, you are calling them, and you are having a discussion in a group. So it is customer focus groups. Okay, next, moving to the next one. Next is measure individual employee service behaviors for use in coaching, training, performance evaluation, recognition and rewards. Identify systemic strengths and weaknesses in service. So also known as mystery shopping of service providers. So in mystery shopping, these all things should happen. That is uh, performance evaluation, recognition and rewards, identifying systemic strengths and weaknesses in the service. So it can help in training and coaching the employees of the company to serve better or provide better service delivery. So I hope you already know mystery shopping or mystery shoppers. I'll just tell in brief. Mystery shoppers are the people who are hired by the company, who move around as customers, who will be availing the services, or who will be buying, will be like showing like buying some products or something, and they will be interacting with the uh, regular usual customers. Okay, the people who come to buy, these people interact with them and try to find out what kind of issues they are facing, or is this product right, where should the product placement be in terms of any brick and mortar, uh, brick and mortar stores or something. These things will happen in terms of service. A person just be is being hired, where he is availing the service to just to find out whether the person is adequate, the person who is providing the service is adequately trained, he knows all the things, if something goes wrong what to do, and how well he's communicating and all. So after the service delivery, the mystery shopper leaves, and he gives the information of all these things to the company. So how was the service delivery, whether it was on time, whether the person was on time there, or the whole process happened within the stipulated time that was told, and how was the communication, did he answer all the questions, did he follow all the procedure. So all these things will be communicated to the company. Okay, next is measure internal service quality, identify employee perceived obstacles to improve service, track employee morale and attitudes. So this comes under employee service. So even with the employees also there might be some issues, just not with the customers and the company, as uh, those particular employees are the face of the company or representing the company. Even there may be some issues with them at their particular level, so you have to find those as well. We have to identify employee perceived obstacles. The employee might think, okay, how I'll be communicating, I don't know if he's having any fear to talk to the customers, and also to find out all those things and resolve them by giving them adequate training. Okay, or basically you can coach them, you can call some other person from industry, or some expert in whatever the issues we are facing, or the customers or the employees are facing. Basically call the experts, have a session one to one or whatever, depending upon what kind of issue it is, and try to build confidence in the employees as well. Okay, then determine the reasons why customers defect, that is lost customer research. So you might think a particular customer had come. It might be one time, two times, or three times, or as many times the customer had already come, but he is not coming further. So what is the reason? We need to find out. So finding out this particular thing, it comes under lost customer survey. So why, whether it is the cost that is being incurred, or the price of that particular service, or the service delivery process, was the employee who was giving the service was not adequate information was not given. So all these things matters a lot. Or the customer has moved to some other competitor where he found it was very useful, or the customer found a center or the service delivery port where which is very near to him. So all these things matter. So your if your customers are very far from your place of service delivery, then it is of no use. People try to find out where they are having very nearby service providing centers. So we are having multiple centers. For example, I'll tell you this your mobile service centers. So they will be two to three in a particular city. Why is that? They can have only one, right? So people try to find out the nearest one. Okay, so and they go over there. People don't want to travel for a particular time or a particular distance to get this particular service to be delivered to them, but they need it very near to their place, or where they are staying, or where they are working. It is based on what kind of service it is. Okay, so all these things are very much important. Next is to forecast future expectations of customers, to develop and test new service ideas, which comes under future expectations research. So what is this? So if you are trying to come up with something new into the market, so you go and ask for the expectations or the perceptions about the new service. If this particular company comes up with this particular service, so what are your expectations? So this kind of survey is done or asked. These kind of questions are asked to general public or the customers who are already availing some particular other service to them. So in future, if this particular service comes to you by this particular company, so what are your expectations? What do you think how the service would be of this particular company, taking into account uh, the service delivery which they are doing in a different particular service which they are providing. So all these things we are trying to find out. So for example, Airtel. Okay, so if Airtel, it is coming now, like they are telling all the places we are putting our towers. If you are having any issues, you can contact us, or you can tell us that that particular service is not adequate, or I am not getting particular tower over here. So they'll fix new towers. That is what they claim. But if they come up with a new service, that is food delivery service, for example, so how will the customer feel? So now based on this, if really the Airtel people are helping by providing new towers nearby those areas where people are finding issues, then they'll be having the same perception that okay, they'll be very good in their service, if not very bad, or at least satisfactory level they'll be functioning, as we already seen their service delivery in terms of cellular services. Okay, this is just an example what I have given you. So something like this, if new services are being introduced by the company, pilot study is being done. Okay, so first customer expectation is found out or the perceptions are found out, then a pilot study in a certain area is only being done. So how the people react to that particular service, how the customer, like the competitors reacted, the small, the local competitors as well as the huge competitors, national level competitors might be there. So what was the uh, findings in that small pilot study, even that is being done. Okay, moving to the next one, stages in research process. This is in general and may vary a bit depending upon the objectives as well as what kind of research you are doing. Okay, the first one is define problem. This is very 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 much important. So this gives you the direction in which you are moving. So if you can find out the problem perfectly or define the problem properly, then you can move ahead with that particular problem to get the desired results. So if you are not able to exactly define the problem, it may so happen that you may deviate from whatever your purpose was. Okay, your purpose was to reach a particular destination but you reached somewhere else because your starting point was not proper or your direction was not proper. If you had defined the problem very well, you could have reached your desired destination. Next, after defining the problem, then we are having develop measurement strategy. So if you are having a proper problem defined, you are having a direction now. So what to measure, how to measure, for example, I'll tell you. So a particular time duration of 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks is given to you to do a particular research. So the measurement strategy is I am going to measure whatever the research I have done after this particular time period, or my particular area is only 10 square kilometers from where my company is, might be an measurement strategy. Why? Because I cannot do a study countrywide or a nationwide or the whole global wide. Okay, so it depends on what resources I'm using, how big the company is, how well trained the employees are who are doing the research, and all many other reasons are there. But you need to have a measurement strategy where how to go about this particular research. Okay, next, after developing the measurement strategy, we are moving to implement the research program. So whatever was thought theoretically, now we are implementing it in the market. Okay, then next will be collect and tabulate data. So based on your implementation and the measurement strategy, you are collecting the data. Various types of data are there, like primary data and secondary data. Secondary data you already know, taken from books, newspapers, articles, and so on. Basically, it can be told as somebody else has collected and you're using it. So that is secondary data. Primary data, you are going to the market and collecting the first hand information from your customers or whoever the target audience is. So collecting and tabulate the data. What do you mean by tabulation? Putting the data, when you are collecting the data, it is called as raw data. Okay, raw data has to be put in a particular format for you to analyze it and interpret it. So next stage will be, so after tabulation, after putting that particular data in a particular format, we are having interpretation and analyze the findings. So you have got, you are having a data already, the raw data is already put in a tabulated way in a particular manner that you require. Then you are interpreting it. Okay, so what the data tells you, then analyze it. So why it is so, you are analyzing, interpretation and analyzing of the, or analysis of the findings or the collected data. Then comes report findings. So what do you mean by this? So you have already got your the information, you have analyzed it, you have interpreted it, and you have to give a report to the company saying, stating, so what was your findings on the research that you have done. The research, everything has to be mentioned. So who are your target audience, what was the duration, what all data was collected, whether it was the research was based on the primary data or the secondary data. So what was the segmentation in the market, or how the data was collected basically. So all these things are very, very much important. So stage one, I'll just repeat again. Define the problem. Very important. It gives you the direction of movement of your research. Next comes develop measurement strategy. Third one, implement research program. Implement research program. Then collect and tabulate data. Interpret and analyze findings and report the findings. Next, moving to relationship marketing. Okay, so what is relationship marketing? Relationship marketing or relationship management is a philosophy of doing business, a strategic orientation that focuses on keeping and improving relationships with current customers rather than on acquiring new customers. So, what does this tell you is, so we are focusing more on retaining the customers which we already have than focusing on getting new customers. Okay, this is what is relationship marketing. So we are not telling here that getting new customers is wrong or we should not focus there. We are telling have focus more on your current customers. Okay, so if you're taking care of the current customers well, as we already discussed, the word of mouth spreads everywhere and you're automatically getting the new customers. Okay, without making any efforts for it. Okay, that doesn't mean you should not do, but we should have some efforts, but more efforts or more focus has to be given to the existing customers. Okay, I'll give you an example. So if a company, if you assume a company as a bucket or a vessel where water is filled, so water, I'm telling you it as a customers, okay? Customers you can assume as water in a vessel or a bucket, which is again compared to a company, and the customers are the water. If the bucket or the vessel is having a hole, so what happens? The water starts leaking. So if you are not focusing more on getting like your existing customers, water is your existing customers, right? So as and when you are pouring more water into the bucket, that is having more customers to your company, and if you are not retaining them, what happens? Slowly everything moves out with in that particular hole. So you can imagine what happens. You are having a bucket which full of water. The water is the your customers. Okay, if you are not maintaining it well, what happens? If there is a hole, there is a leakage that is happening, and over time, how much ever water you are pouring into that particular bucket, eventually it flows away, and you are left with an empty bucket. So this illustration will tell you. So if existing customers are happy, new customers will automatically come to you with a minimum or very less efforts. Okay, and the cost of retaining is very, very much less than the cost of getting new customers. Okay, remember this always. The cost of retaining the old customers is very, very much less when compared to the cost of getting new customers. Okay, then moving to the next one. Next is evolution of customer relationships. Okay, so successive level of relationship, there are different levels of relationships which you can have or which will be there based on the time duration and the type of services customers as strangers. Okay, strangers are those customers who have not yet had a transaction with the firm or may not even be aware of the firm. Okay, these people are known as strangers. So this what I'm talking is with respect to the company, from the company side we are saying outside, okay, to the general public. So strangers are those people who have not yet availed your service from your particular company, or they even don't know that you exist in the market. Okay, these kind of people are called as strangers. At the industry level, strangers may be conceptualized as customers who have not yet enter the market, customers of competitors. Why? Because those are the people who may know or who may not have availed your service. So your customer, your competitors' customers are strangers to you. Okay. Clearly, the firm has no relationship with this customer at this particular point of time. So first one is the customers as strangers, that there is at this particular time clearly the firm has no relationship with the customer at this particular point of time. Okay. Then next comes customers as acquaintances. So what do you mean by this? Once customer awareness and trial are achieved, that is, if the customer has your service, okay, or a trial, basically companies give trials, okay, so that what kind of product it is or what kind of service it is, okay, to make it sure that the customer knows we are in the market and what kind of service we are providing in the market, some trials have been done. So after the customer is aware that we are there in the market, and after a small trial where it can be a whole service delivery process that a person has availed, or it can be a small part of it. Okay, familiarity is established and the customer and the firm becomes acquaintances. They know each other now, creating the basis for an exchange relationship for whatever he desires or whatever he is in need of. Okay. A primary goal for the firm at this stage of the relationship is satisfying the customer. Okay. In the when the customers are in the stage of acquaintances, the primary goal of the company or the firm is at that particular stage would be satisfying the customer or keeping the customer satisfied. In the acquaintances stage, firms are generally concerned about providing a value proposition to customers comparable with that of competitors. So if you are having any yardstick or anything to compare, then only satisfied or not satisfied, that is different, but you need something to compare. So when compared to the competitors, you are doing well, you should show that you are a better provider of the similar service what the customer was availing before from their competitors. So for a customer, an acquaintance is effective as long as the customer is relatively satisfied and is being received in the exchange is perceived as fair value. So what does this mean is, so that particular person in the acquaintance stage will remain with you until he thinks that he is satisfied and he is getting fair amount in returns for whatever customer is paying something to the company, until he feels whatever is being paid by him is fair enough for the service that is availing, he will be with you. So once he thinks that okay, I am paying more or the service that is provided to me is lesser than the amount that I am paying, the customer will move away or he will move to some other competitors. Next one, customers as friends. So next step would be customers as friends. So first one, customers as strangers, customers as acquaintances. Next level would be customers as friends. So as a customer continues to make purchases from a firm and to receive to acquire specific knowledge of the customer's needs, allowing it to create an offering that directly addresses the customer's situation. So now in the beginning, he was a stranger. Next, after availing or after knowing that this particular company exists and availing a particular service, that particular customer becomes an acquaintance. So, after multiple transactions with the customer, we are moving to the next stage where we come to know as a company that what he needs or what he likes in that particular service. So, we are providing that only to him directly. So, now individual customer we are focusing directly because we know something about him, and the people who are delivering those, okay, will be knowing okay what exactly that particular customer is looking for into the service delivery. Okay, the provision of a unique offering and thus differential value transforms the relationship from acquaintance to friendship. So as you are giving him a tailored uh, service delivery, so he thinks that okay, the even the person who is there, who is providing the service knows me and what kind of service I am looking at or what kind of attributes I need there. So if you are giving him directly, he thinks okay, the knowing the customer increases. The first is stranger, acquaintance, and now friend. So even the customer thinks that he is trying to become friend, or the firm is being treating him well. So he thinks the firm as his friend. It might be the firm or the person who is delivering that particular service. Okay. So the next it moves from acquaintance to friendship. And the last one is customers as partners. So we are in four different levels. We have come to the fourth one, that is customers as partners. So as a customer continues to interact with the firm, the level of trust often depends or deepens. Okay, trust often customized product offering and interactions. So as a customer continuously interact with the firm, the trust increases. Okay. So what happens? So if a person is availing a particular service twice a week or twice a month or once a week, whatever it is, so if that particular customer is not coming there, the company or the person may ask him in the next time, "Arey sir, you had not come. You were supposed to come at this particular time. You have skipped this. Why? What is the reason?" So what does this tell you? Okay, the company or the person who is delivering is he knows his customers well. So even the customer thinks, yeah, this particular person is having more focus on me as well. Having a transaction or a delivery process and is sending him. So that is where the customer thinks himself as a partner to that particular company who is providing the service to him. Okay, the trust developed in the friendship stage is a necessary but not sufficient condition for a customer firm partnership to develop. Okay, that is the creation of trust leads to ideally the creation of commitment. So even the customer thinks that yeah, it is a commitment that I need to avail. If he wants to have that particular service, it's his commitment to have that particular service by that particular company only. Okay, so a sense of commitment is created, and that is the condition necessary for customers to extend the time perspective of a relationship. So even if he thinks that okay, only I need it for a particular month, he may extend it for one more month. We never know. So the time duration of availing also increases and the frequency also increases. So in customers as partners, at the partnership stage, the firm is concerned with the enhancing the relationship or increasing the trust of the customer and making him a commitment from the customer side that he has to come if he wants to avail that particular service. So customer thinks that he has a commitment. We are creating a commitment to the customer. So what are the four stages? First one, stranger, where the customer or the prospect customer may know or may not know the existence of the company, and at this particular time he has not yet availed the service of our firm. Next comes Next comes acquaintances. So what are acquaintances? Now here the customer knows about our firm that we are providing these particular services and has availed some of the services or one of the services. So he is just knowing that we are there in the market. Next step is customers as friends. So in this case, you know the particular customer, you talk to him, you already know as he has already come to your firm or has used your particular service multiple amount of time, where the even the firm knows what attributes he likes, what kind of service he is liking, what process to be uh, used for this particular customers, and so on, depending upon the service and the uh, rules of the company. Based on this, you can customize the service delivery also. Then the last one is customers as partners. So as and when the trust deepens and there is a sense of commitment created from the customer point of view, he will be coming to our firm or our company only to avail a particular service which is being given by our firm. Okay, if he ever thinks to get any service of that particular kind. Okay, these are the four ways or the four levels: customer as strangers, customer as acquaintances, customers as friends, and customers as partners. Next, moving to the next one, goal of relationship marketing. What it is? First is acquiring, satisfying, retaining, and enhancing. So these are related to the four levels only. First one is acquiring. Why? Because the customer doesn't know, or he has not yet availed our service, or he is availing the our competitor's service. So that means we need to acquire the customer. So the first stage is acquiring the customer. The second stage, that is acquaintances. At that particular stage we have to look into the satisfaction level of the customers. We need to keep the customer satisfied. Then next is retaining. So we need to make that particular customers come back to us again and again to avail the similar service or the same service or the other service provided by the company. Next, moving to the next one is enhancing. Enhancing is we are creating a sense of commitment to the customer where he feels that there is a commitment between the company and him that he has to go and avail that particular service. So these are the four things. First, when the customer is a stranger, we need to acquire him. When he is acquainted or is an acquaintance, he should be satisfied. Next stage, when the customer is like a friend, we need to retain him. And when uh, the next stage, that is customer as partner, we need to enhance his service delivery or enhance the satisfaction level that he is getting in the previous stages. Okay, so this is what is the ultimate goal of relationship marketing. Next, benefits of customer relationship or benefits of customer relationship to the customer, basically benefits for customers. So confidence benefits. So now the customer is having a confidence on the company that they will provide an adequate service and a quality service that is desired, or they are the customer thinks that the company is making the justice to whatever amount it is being taken for providing that particular service, and it is not bluffing or cheating that particular customer. A sense of confidence is generated by the customer towards the company. So first one is confidence benefits. Next is social benefits to the customer. Why? Because there are many firms which may say, okay, our esteemed customer base, or esteemed customer, customer of the week, customer of the month, so and all, if the people are doing so, or the firms are doing so, so there is a social recognition to the person who is coming or the customer who is availing your service. So he is getting social benefits. People who come there, they see, okay, this is a person who has availed and he is a very good customer for this particular company also. So for example, if he is a celebrity also, why he is being endorsed? Because seeing him, there is a sense of trust to the customer that okay, when that particular person is availing this particular service, even I need to avail the same kind of service. Okay, that is social benefits. And next is special treatment benefits. As and when the customer is moving to the next and higher levels, so is getting special treatment from the company. So in the second stage, when he is acquaintance, we are just looking into the satisfaction part of him. Next, when he is becoming a friend, we are looking into the personal factors, what he needs, what he is desiring, why he is coming to us, what kind of attributes he is looking for in our service delivery, and the last one is a tailored service delivery could be made just for that particular customer based on his preferences. So to the customers, he can have a special treatment benefit. Next, benefits for firms. So we just saw from the customer point of view what was the benefit to the customer by having relationship management. Now, what are the benefits for firms? First one is economic benefits. Research also suggests that highly satisfied customers are willing to pay more for a provider's service. Okay, economic benefits would be the customer is coming back, he is generating revenue to you. So the economic condition of the firm increases. Okay, and if you charge more also in the future date, if you charge more in the sense you are increasing the rates due to various reasons. Okay, it might be inflation, it might be raw materials which you are using, the price of those may increase. But when the customer is having a trust in you, then he will not ask more. Even he knows because he is buying other things as well. So the economic benefits will also help the company increase the revenues. So if you are asking more also, so the customer will be ready to pay. Next is customer behavior benefits. That is word of mouth communication. When the customer is happy, satisfied or delighted, he spreads this news to many other people in his society or in his circle of people who may or may not avail your service, that is different, but he is sending a good message, okay, about the firm and the quality of the service delivery, okay, into the market. So it may so happen that he might tell 10 people, those 10 people out of 10, only 2 to 3 remember it, and they may further spread it somewhere that, okay, this particular person was telling like this about this company, where this particular company is providing a very adequate and a quality service to the customers. So he may be a customer or he may further spread it somewhere else, okay, or to some new people who might become the future customers to this particular firm. So customer behavior benefits, word of mouth communication will help in getting new customers as well as maintain the customer loyalty also. Next, human resource management benefits, assisting in service delivery. So at times the customer also will help you in delivering. So if the customer is like, for example, if it is a restaurant, if the customer is very good, he might wait for you if anything happens and there is a delay. Or if he is not having a good relationship with the firm, what happens? He may move away if the food is delayed or something, or if it is not of a particular quality. At times it may so happen that yes, there might be some issues with the food or the taste also based on the situation. If the customer is very much known to the firm, then he will adjust. Okay, not every time, once or twice. So he will also assist in the service delivery as well if and when required. Okay, so these are the benefits to the firm. So just we'll look back: benefits to the customers, confidence benefits, social benefits, special treatment benefits. Next, benefits to the firms, economic benefits, customer behavior benefits, and human resource management benefits. So levels of relationship strategies. Okay, we'll look into this in the next class. Okay. So any doubts till here? Anyone? Any doubts? You can ask me. I hope there are no doubts. If anything is there, please let me know. So we'll just look into whatever we have finished this particular class. So we have started with customer complaint solicitation, where we are finding dissatisfied customers and trying to bring them back. Next, relationship surveys. That is, we are trying to find out the service performance when compared to the competitors, what they are doing, what kind of service improvement they are doing, what are their priorities, and we are tracking our own service whether it is being improved or not. The next comes post-transaction surveys. We are collecting the feedbacks of the customers as and when they are availing the service. Okay, so that we'll get to know what are the needs to improve or what are things that the company or the customers is uh, the things that customer is being satisfied from the company's point of view. So that is post-transaction surveys. Next, customer focus groups, calling the customers, like the selected customers, and asking them questions about the service, where they are having a discussion and giving you the information. Next, moving to mystery shopping. So we are trying to find out the performance evaluation, recognition and rewards, identifying systematic strengths and weaknesses of the service by using mystery shoppers. Next, employee service. So try to find out what if and any issues that are there in the employee side also. As if the employees are happy without any issues, they will be able to provide a better service to the customer. So it is also very important to have employee surveys. Next, customer research. So determine the reasons why the customers defect. That means why the customers are leaving your firm, whether it is the service delivery, the cost, or the time of the delivery, or whatever it is. So that is what we are finding out in last customer research. Next, forecast future expectations. If the company wants to come up with the different services in future, so what are the expectations or what are the perceptions of the company if, of the customers if the company comes up with the new and different uh, service. Okay, next stages, define the problem, develop measurement strategy, implement research program, collect and tabulate data, interpret and analyze findings, and report the findings. Six stages there. Then relationship marketing, which says focus more on the present customers who you have than focusing more on the future customers, okay, or new customers. So which will help you in a different ways. So we are looking into those. Next is evolution. So first will be customers as strangers, where the customers are not knowing who are we and what kind of service we are providing. Next is customers as acquaintances, where the primary goal in this particular stage is to keep the customer happy or satisfied. Next is customer as friends. Moving ahead, the next stage would be customer as friends. So here we are knowing more about the customer and giving him the services as per his requirement. And the last one, partnership stage, where the relationship is being enhanced to the next level, where a tailored service delivery can be employed to specific customers, where he feels delighted that he is a customer of our company. Okay. Next, goal of relationship marketing, where in the first step we need to acquire the customer. Next, we need to keep him satisfied. Third one, after keeping him satisfied, we need to make sure that he is retained with us only. And next one, when he is becoming our partner, the service delivery process would be enhanced. And the next one, what we saw is benefits for customers if we have customer relationship. So that would be for the customers, benefits would be confidence benefits, social benefits, and special treatment benefits. And the next one, benefits for firms would be economic benefits, customer behavior benefits, and human resource management benefits. And levels of relationship strategies will start in the next class. Okay. If you don't have any issues or any problems, can we end the class? Yes, students, can we stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll meet in the next class.